Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important topic of Angular directives, that is ngIf else condition. Okay, so mainly we are going to discuss about the else portion, because in our last session we discussed what is ngIf directive, how we can use it, and we also discussed one example, right? So this session is in the continuation of the same, where we are going to talk about the else condition as well. Okay, so we will discuss like what is else condition, how to implement it, why do we need it in projects, because it's not only in Angular but in any programming languages. If you are working with a project, then you know about it, that yes, if and else conditions are the one which we most frequently used for developing the logic, right? So that's why it is always important and mandatory to learn about these concepts. So here we will just take one real world example where we will talk about the requirement first, like why do we need else part, and then we will try to implement the things. Okay, but before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use ngIf with else. Okay, so let's get started. So firstly, what I'll do, I'll explain you the requirement. So for that, let's go to app.component.html file. Here what we will do, we will simply print one heading, h2. Okay, so on this heading we will mention one thing like welcome to Sharmit. Okay, now you can simply save it. So what it will do, it will print this message, obviously, right? So let's see the output, because understanding the requirement is much more important than learning the concept, right? Because once requirement is clear, then you can easily figure out like what all things we are supposed to use here. So ngserve open, and it will take few seconds and open the browser for us. If there is an error, it will show the error. Okay, but it is executed successfully. So now you can see we have this message is populated, welcome to Sharmit. Perfect. Now here we have one requirement. The requirement is that we want to show this message only if the user is logged in. Okay, if user is not logged in that case we want to print something else, but not this, or neither we want to show it as a blank. Okay, so for that thing, firstly we will add if condition, because the condition which we learned in last session, right? So let's quickly add if condition. So for that, what I will do, I will simply write here ngIf, but star is needed. So star ngIf equal, this I should be capital, and remember this is case sensitive. Okay, so whatever you are writing here, make sure it is in a same case. Okay, and here I will write is logged in. Okay, perfect. Now you can simply save it. So currently you can see it is showing one message here. What it is showing the star ngIf directive was used in template, but neither the ngIf directive nor the common module is imported, because if you want to use this thing, then you should import it. So let's go to app.component.ts file. Here you can see only one thing is imported as of now. So we will import another module, which is common module. So you just need to go here and write common module. Once I hit enter, you can see this line is added, common module. Okay, so this is how we import the common module. Now in this common module, you can see it allows us, like it exports all the basic Angular directives and pipes such as ngIf, ngForof, decimal pipe, and so on. Okay, so this thing is ready. Now let's go to app.component.html file. Here you can see now the error is removed from ngIf because module is imported, but it is showing error on this variable. Why? Because this is not declared. So let's copy it and go to app.component.ts file. Here in this class we will define it. So I'll define it as a true value. Okay, so if it is true, it will print the output. You can see, let's wait. Yeah, so now you can see welcome to Sharmit is printed because user is logged in. But in case if user is not logged in, so in that case what will happen, it will not show this message, it will simply skip this logic. Okay, so till now, like whatever we have discussed is also covered in last session, because this is if part, not else part. But now we are going to talk about the else and one of the important condition. So instead of this logic, what we want to implement, we try to implement like, let me make it true first. Okay, so what I want to show, like if user is logged in, I want to show this message, welcome to Sharmit. But in case if it is not logged in, so in that case what we will do, we will print else condition. Let me show you. So here, if user is not logged in, so in that case I want to print this message, you are not logged in. Okay, so this message I want to print if user is not logged in. But currently if I write something like this, it will show both messages together, welcome to Sharmit and you are not logged in. But this is not right, because we want to show this message only if user is not logged in. So for that reason, what we will do, we will add one else condition here. So after this is logged in, we will put semicolon, and here we will write else. Okay, and after that, if you write let's say if you write here login failed. Okay, so currently it is not there. So what we will do, we will define this name to this line. So for that we will use here ng template. Make sure to use ng template, because it will help us to identify the things. Okay, so currently, like if I put ng template like this and show you the output, let me remove it for now. Okay, I just want to show you that if it is an inside ng template, it will not be populated on screen until or unless you explicitly run this or execute this. Okay, so make sure that once you have put this in ng template, assign some name to assign some name to it. Okay, so what we will do, we will write here ng template hash login failed. So what basically it will do now, once this name is called, only that in that condition it will be executed. So what we will do now we will add the else condition. So semicolon else, and here we will write just this thing, login failed. So what basically it will do, if it is true, in that case, let me write it completely so that you will not get confused. Okay, so if it is true, it will simply print this message, welcome to Sharmit. But in case if it is not true, then it will execute this part, which is login failed, and then this line will be executed. Let's see the output. Currently user is logged in, so we are getting this message, welcome to Sharmit. But now if you go to component.ts file and here you make it as false, now you will see the magic that instead of welcome, it is showing only one message, which is you are not logged in. Okay, so this is how we will implement the else condition, and this is one of the most important condition, because whenever you are going to write some logic in your program for your project, there are various or number of scenarios where we want to build a logic in a way which works in conditional manner, if and else manner, right? So whenever there is a requirement of such thing, we will use the directive ngIf with else statement. Okay, so basically in this session we discuss how to implement else statement and what are the benefit of it, because benefit is clearly seen that for using this kind of scenarios, for implementing these kind of structures, we need else part, right? So now what you can do, you can simply try this thing by your own. You can create some condition. Let me give you one assignment. So let's say you can try to create one small project where you will just check if user is 18-year-old. So in that case we will print the message that you are eligible for voting, and if it is not, then in that case you will show the message you are not above 18, so you are not eligible for voting. So this kind of small example you can try, and if you are getting any kind of error in it, then you can simply put a question in the comment section so that I can try to help you there. Okay, but I hope today's session is clear, and once you do your practice, then it would be much more easier for you to grab all these concepts in a easier way, and then you can implement it in your projects as well. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Sharmit.